Michelle with Magnolia Grove Homestead. I promised y'all the other day a very exciting video that you did not want to miss, and I'm here today to follow through with that promise. But first, y'all look at my radishes. I've been out here harvesting radishes already this morning. This one is the one that was grown in the little pot up front. And these were back here, so I don't know, maybe I harvested this one a little soon, but these guys, man, they're huge. I wanted to talk to y'all today about a company that I recently placed an order with and then went back and was like, hey, can I get an affiliate code for my viewers? So now I am an affiliate with this awesome company called Greenstalk. So my channel, as I've told you before, I try to encourage everybody where they are at in the situation they are at to grow their own food, in however that looks like for you. So Greenstalk is a company. They are based in Tennessee. It's a family-owned business. They make these planters, and they are tiered planters for vertical gardening. And so before we go too in depth and unbox the planters and put them together and plant them and all that, I just want to talk to you about vertical gardening real quick and let you know why that is beneficial. So vertical gardening means that you basically are going to grow food up vertically as opposed to traditional horizontal growing, be it in a tilled area in the ground or a long raised bed or something of that sort. Vertical gardening means that you are growing your food up. That means that you can typically grow more food as opposed to what you would be able to grow in a long garden bed. So in a long garden planted in rows, you'll have a row of this, a row of this, and a row of this, and it takes a lot of space. Now, if you have the space and that's how you want to garden, wonderful. If you're limited on space, be it if you are in an apartment or you have a balcony, you don't have a lot of land, something like that, you can definitely grow food vertically and grow, I would say, just as much almost than as if you would be able to grow, you know, in a big garden bed. So these Greenstalk planters, they are a self-watering system, and they basically look a lot like this when you get them planted. So there's tiers of planted pockets. And so you build this stacked up system, and then it has 6 pockets on each tier. And each pocket you can plant the same stuff, different stuff, whatever. And that's how your food will grow. And the pockets, as you put it together, you'll see when we do it, they're like alternated. So it's not putting things right on top of each other, it's staggering things so that they can still grow up some and they can grow out. So I think this is a really neat company. Now, I've already opened up my boxes just to kind of take a peek, and I was really excited, sorry y'all. But they did send these awesome instructional books. There's a lot of information in this little pamphlet here that they send with the planters. And they have, if you'll notice when you order, that it says original and leaf. So the original planter has deeper pockets. The leaf planter has like a squattier pockets, or shorter, more shallow pockets. And that is for things that don't require a lot of root system space, like your leafy greens and things like that. And actually there's a guide in here that will show you what you can plant in each planter. Like, if you notice here, plants with this icon can also be grown in the leaf planter. So not just the vertical planter, but the leaf one also. These are your pictures of your vegetables that you can also grow in the leaf planter. because they don't require a ton of root space. And then it also, in the book, tells you how many of what vegetable to plant per pocket. So that's really nice to know. And the kit comes with it's a self-watering system, so you'll see that when we put it together. But it basically has all these tiers that you plant in, and then there's a top watering system that trickles down into the other little water pockets that go all through the thing. And that way you water from the top, and then it just trickles down with gravity all the way down to the bottom, and it waters the whole entire planter. So you don't have to worry about your bottom tiers being dry or not watered enough or whatever. They also sent, it was a pack in each container with these organic green bush beans, and they had a pack of stickers in each container. So aside from the garlic sticker, all the stickers on my cup here came from Greenstock, and I think they are so cute, and that was just an added little bonus from their company, which I thought was very sweet. Now, Greenstock will tell you that the key to success in this planting system is that you have great soil. So you want to make sure that you have a really quality soil. Don't go buy the cheapest thing at whatever big box store, or go out here in the backyard and just dig up some plain old soil and put it in there. This is a vertical container garden system, so these plants will not be drawing nutrients from the ground. They have to be started and maintained with the nutrients that they need. And so you want to start off with a really good fertilized soil. Now, that being said, I went to go purchase organic potting mix, and all the stores I went to were completely sold out. It is that time of year, folks. So I wasn't able to get an organic soil, but I did pick up some container gardening potting mix that is already fertilized. So I am just gonna have to use that and hope that it's not full of chemicals and whatnot. Now, when I fertilize my planter and all my plants in there, I will use natural, organic, whatever kind of good fertilizer that I can find. But for the sake of getting this thing planted and not letting any of the purchase starts that I got go to waste, I'm going to go ahead and use this soil. Now you want to make sure when you are starting your plants, especially in any kind of container, you want to make sure that you don't get potting soil or garden soil or topsoil. You want to make sure that you get potting mix. The mix is a lot finer material than the soil. The soil tends to have bigger chunks and bark and things like that, especially topsoil has a lot bigger chunks and things in there, and it's really hard to get your plants to develop a great root system in a container where there's a lot of big barky chunks of things taking up space in there, and they can't really develop their roots very well. Really, you want to make sure that you have a mix with fertilizer and some vermiculite. That way you have a good moisture control in your soil. You don't want it staying so wet that everything drowns, but you don't want things to dry out either. And that's one of the great things about this Greenstock company, is that they make this big watering thing on the top, and it trickles down to all the layers, so it waters them very evenly. And there's a line on there that tells you, we'll go through all of that here in just a second. I just want to make sure that before you purchase your Greenstock planters, that you understand the benefits and you understand how to take care of your plants in them, because it's not the same as planting in a tilled garden. Now, when I start my plants in these containers today, I will not add fertilizer because this soil is already fertilized. I haven't used it before. The people at Lowe's said that it was a pretty good soil. So I don't want to over fertilize it. It's hard to take things out once they've been put in. It's kind of like salt. You can't take it away. So I don't want to put anything in yet. I want to get my plants started and see how they do. Give them a week or two. And then if they look like they need more, I will feed them with some natural fertilizer. Most likely it'll be with my Garden Tone fertilizer or something similar. So without further ado, I would like to go ahead and start building this planter. Now I don't know if you can see them, but I did get some 18 by 18 inch paving stones just to sit my planter on. I did get a base with it. You have to order that separate, just so you know. But I did get the base with the planters. That way they can be turned into the sunlight, you know. So the planter is round, so you want to make sure that all sides at some point are facing the sun and it gets sun evenly. So you have to make sure that you can turn it. That's why I went ahead and got the mover. And I got paving stones so that it would be easy to turn. Plus, I'm not entirely sure that where I'm going to set these up today is where they will stay. Because we still have plans to build the other raised bed and mess with the chicken coop and all that stuff this weekend. So I want to make sure that I can make them as portable as possible if I need to move them. So we will get started building this. I want to show you when I take it out of the box all the different things that it comes with and their purpose. So this right here is the mover, and it's on top in the box. This is where your planter will stack up on and you can move it. There are casters that go under here. They just click in like little wheels so that it can roll around. This is the top watering tray. This will be right underneath the mover when you get your order in. And there are lines. When you get it, you can see there's lines up the side. And there's a number of lines that tell you how deep to water. So if you don't use all your layers and you just use half of them, you would only fill the line up halfway of water. These are all of the little watering cups that go in between each layer. And there are little holes in there. I don't know if you can see them, but there's little holes on the side. That's where the water will trickle down from this big watering tray to each level and water each level individually. This is the set of casters that goes on the mover, and there are instructions here on the bag in case it's complicating, but it's really pretty straightforward. It's not, this is a good quality product and it has been thought through very well. In this bag, there's also this hose that you'll stick in the side of the mover so that it doesn't get waterlogged. It can drain excess water off if there is excess water to drain from the bottom layer. So I'm going to go ahead real quick and just put these casters on these movers. That way I know that's done and I don't get ahead of myself and start building it and then say, oh, oops. So the casters look like this. So there are a couple that will have locks so that you can lock the wheel and keep it from rolling around. And this metal end just basically pops right in here. It doesn't click or anything. It just sits up in there in the holes of the mover. So in all, there are 3 casters that have locks. You want to make sure that you separate them. Don't put all your locks in one place. That way, depending on where you're at and the incline of your area or whatever, you have a lock like wherever you need it to be. And then put the other regular casters on the other 3. And it is so simple, y'all. It's so easy. I will recommend building this in a place that you plan to keep it or very nearby, because by the time we get this thing filled up with soil and stacked up, it is going to be heavy. So I would recommend just go ahead and think about where you're going to want it before you start building it. And for now, that's going to be right here in front of my peas. I will say, I don't see a lot of other people on unboxing videos make mention of this, but this paper here, this is not going to be thrown away. This paper is going to be put into my compost pile. This is good material for compost, so don't throw it away, don't waste it. It's not trash. Put this in your compost pile. Alright guys, so I've got everything unboxed, and I just want to show you before we start filling these things up. This is the leafy planter, and this is the original planter. So you can see the difference in the levels and how big or how deep those pockets are. And so that just kind of shows you the difference. Now, like I said, this leafy planter, this is for things that don't require a ton of deep root space. This, on the other hand, is for things that does need that extra space. So you can grow a wide variety of vegetables and fruits and herbs, leafy greens, just about anything you can imagine in these planters. I have seen some people that will fill up the thing with soil, and then they'll go ahead and put their plants in for one level, stack it, fill the other one up, and keep going. I'm not going to do that just because I want to make sure that I don't accidentally break any of my stems on any of my plants. And so I will be filling these up one at a time, and I'll just show you with the leafy planter how that looks initially. But you want to make sure, again, that you have your watering tray for each level. Now, these planters are interchangeable, so you could stack them like this. You know, and you could have leafy stuff and then deep root stuff, and then leafy stuff and deep root stuff. However you want to do it. And I might take it apart and play around with that some in the future. Today, I just want to kind of get it planted and see what I've got. I've been trying to think through how much stuff I could plant or what needed to go where or whatever, and I kind of want to get it put together and look at it and see what holes are still there, what I could still do with the empty pockets, because I don't think I have enough stuff to completely fill these things up today. In each tier, either planter, there are 6 pockets. So if you think about the leafy planter, 6 pockets times 7 tiers means that you can plant 42 different things in this planter. And then if you grab the original planter, there are 6 pockets times 5 tiers, which means you can plant 30 plants in there. So if you think about your investment and you're wondering, well, are they worth the money? I just would like to encourage you to go ahead and purchase them, and also let you know that I do have an affiliate code. It is MAGGROVE, M-A-G-G-R-O-V-E, and I will post a link to that at the bottom. But if you use my affiliate code, that'll get you $10 off of your order, and I do get a little percentage of what you purchase. So that would help me out too. But if you think about it though, my raised beds for me were very cheap just because my husband's a logger and I got the wood for free. But now, if you're having to go out and purchase wood, the price of wood has skyrocketed, y'all. I looked the other day at Lowe's for some wood for a different project that I had in mind. A 2x4 was like 12 bucks for a 2x4. So if you think about how much it will cost you to build raised beds, and then, you know, you can still do like I'm going to do. I'm going to have cattle panels and arch trellis and stuff. But it's an investment. These are not that expensive though, and especially if you're in a small space where you need to have your gardening compact. These things are awesome. They are a good quality product. They're made here in the USA by a family-owned business, and they're not that expensive. I had looked at another company. It was an aquaponic vertical gardening system. They wanted you to make payments. I'm not going to say their name, but they wanted you to make payments, monthly payments, to buy their system. And it was going to end up being like $700 for one system. Greenstalk is not out to rip you off. They're out to help you all out. And their product is a whole lot better and a whole lot more affordable. So I encourage you, if this is something you're thinking about, do it. It is worth it. It's going to last you for years and years and years. And they are so versatile. I mean, you can grow just about anything. From tomatoes, green beans, peppers, you know, lettuce, it's just anything. And so I am super excited to get started planting these. But I'm going to go ahead and show you on one how to fill it up, how to put the watering thing, and then how to keep stacking it. And then I'll finish all this. I know y'all don't want to sit here and watch me put dirt and stuff. So I'll finish all them and then just show you what they look like when they're completely put together. And I'm just going to cut open my soil. And like I said, if y'all can find a better potting mix, or if you want organic or whatever, you know, I encourage you to do that. I just couldn't find any. And I went to 3 different places. And they're all sold out. So, 'tis the season. I'll use my scooper here. Let me open that up some more. And there's a line, and it says fill soil to top. So you're going to fill the whole entire thing up. One of the original layers holds 1 cubic foot of soil. So if you're thinking about how much you're going to have to buy, just know that each complete planter takes 5 cubic feet. Yeah, 5 cubic feet of soil. And so you want to make sure that you budget for that in picking out your soil. And if you are using soil from home, stuff that you have made, that's fine. Just make sure, like I said, that you amend that soil and pack it full of good nutrients and vitamins so that your plants have what they need to get off to a good start. And then every so often, you know, make sure that you fertilize your plants, because like I said, this is a container system, so it's not, these plants are not going to be pulling nutrients from the ground. Alright, and then after you have your tier filled up with soil, you want to come around the center and move a little bit of it out so that you have room to put your watering tray in this tier. Don't forget to put your watering tray in every tier. The last thing you want to do is get this whole thing planted and then be like, oh crap, I gotta go take it back apart and put my watering trays in there. So your water tray just sits on top like that. And then you can go in. I'm trying to debate whether I want to alternate them or not. I think I'll just go ahead and do it like this. I don't know. But on the bottom, you can see that it has these little ridges here. These are going to clip over the sides of each level. And that's how it stacks up together. So it's nothing too crazy or complicated, but that is exactly why I just want to put it together and then go back and scoop out enough space for my my plants. I don't want to be fiddling with getting this thing just right and then break some of my plants or something. And so I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these filled up and put together, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're put together. Hey guys, it's Michelle. I am back. I finally got these green stalks planted and assembled, and I am like blown away. Seriously. I'm really blown away at how much stuff. I mean, I was looking for stuff to put in here to fill it up. So I'll just show you real quick because it's fixing to come a bad thunderstorm. But I'll show you real quick what they look like. These are my planters. So this one is the leafy planter and this one is the original. In the leafy planter, I put mostly leafy greens, herbs, things like that. And then in the original planter, I wanted to play around with some other things. So I put some tomatoes, some strawberries, beans, and peppers, and cucumbers. So I'll just take you around and kind of show you exactly what I've got going on. So in here, I started some golden beets, just seeds. Every other pocket on this one, on this tier, is this spinach that I purchased from the nursery. On this second tier, I did Swiss chard. There's this lovely variegated sage. Y'all see that? Swiss chard. This is cilantro. And then down here on the third tier, there's some basil and a different variety of spinach. This is the oregano that I'd gotten from the nursery. It doesn't look that great, but I'm hoping it'll perk up. Down here, there's some flat leaf parsley, alternated with Swiss chard, and bouquet dill, which again, I'm hoping it'll perk up. I've just been messing with it, so it tends to get kind of droopy. This is the curly leaf parsley, more spinach. Down here in these pockets, I've got some chives. Let me see if there's anything else I'm leaving out in this one. Basil. Oh, and I had an extra pocket open on this one, so I decided to I transplanted one of the broccoli plants that we had started over there in one of those big pots I've been showing y'all was fully loaded with broccoli. In this one, this here is one of my lemon cucumber starts. So I alternated every pocket in this tier with lemon cucumbers, and then I sowed some Henderson lima beans. On the second tier, there's California Wonder red bell pepper starts that I purchased. And I alternated every other pot on this one with chocolate pepper seeds from Baker Creek. In this third tier, I just did beans. So I alternated lima beans with green stalks green beans. This fourth tier is all ever-bearing strawberries. My daughter wanted strawberries, so we did a whole row of just strawberries, and I didn't put them on the bottom just so that in case they start running a little bit, they can have room to drape over these pockets and be fine. And down here in the bottom tier, I've got some broccoli that I had started, and then these are cherry tomatoes. So those cherry tomato starts I purchased from the nursery. I have not put out my tomato starts in the garden yet, just because I'm still in the process of hardening them all. But now if you purchase tomato starts from a nursery, they've already went through that process. So I've been taking them in and out some with my starts, but I just went ahead and put them in there. That is a large cherry tomato variety, and on the little ticket it said that it was good in pots, so I figure if it's good in pots, it should be good in the green stalk. And I have a few other things that I have to do out here in the garden, hopefully before the storm comes. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. Again, if you decide to purchase anything from Greenstock, please use my link below or my coupon code, which is MAGGROVE, and you will receive $10 off your order, and I'll receive a small commission, which will help me continue to do things and purchase things, and so that I can show you different ways to garden in your small space. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see y'all back in a few days and be able to show you new raised beds or the new potato bed or something. I have so many projects I'm working on, but I will show you something again in a few days. Thanks. Y'all have a good day. God bless.